It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV, 5 things you need to know for Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. Topic number 5 today, Super Tuesday. That's the title given to the day when 16 states plus 1 territory, American Samoa, go to the polls to vote in the primaries to narrow down the ballot before the general election in November. This will probably confirm what we already knew, that the presumptive nominees for president for the two major parties, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Nikki Haley still continuing as a candidate for Republicans, even though she's lost the support of her major financial backers, Americans for Prosperity, the political action committee founded by the Koch brothers. However, a lot can happen between now and November. Trump's issues in court, although they're based on very flimsy legal foundations, still have the potential to land him in jail before November, which there's no telling how that would affect things. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side, I honestly don't think Joe Biden's going to be on the ballot in November. As time goes by, he just looks more and more frail, more cognitively challenged. I think the more likely scenario is that something happens, some kind of deal is cut at the Democratic National Convention this summer, and that somebody like Gavin Newsom or even Michelle Obama emerges as the Democratic candidate in November. Now, while this was going on today, by about 10 a.m. Central Time here in the United States, hundreds of thousands of users of Meta products, that's Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, Threads, but I don't think anybody noticed that Threads was down, had been logged out and essentially blocked from their accounts. Interesting that this was happening on Super Tuesday, given the impact that Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, had in the 2020 presidential election with his generous donations to progressive precincts with drop boxes and funding operations there, so-called Zucker bucks. Again, just very interesting, and I would say coincidental if I was a coincidence theorist, but not sure how this is affecting things. But as of this recording on Tuesday morning, still many people not able to access their Meta products. You would think the apocalypse was already upon us. Oh no, I can't get to my Insta. Topic number 4, the woke mob. Keith Olbermann never disappoints. The former ESPN and MSNBC commentator who now broadcasts from his home. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So do I. But he always has a take on news events of the day that are, at this point, so over the top, they're indistinguishable from parody. I told you yesterday about Monday's Supreme Court ruling, 9-0, unanimous judgment in favor of the Trump legal team that challenged Colorado's ruling that he had been barred from the ballot in the primary because he was an insurrectionist, even though he's not been charged with, much less convicted of, insurrection. That amendment to the Constitution was intended to keep people who'd served in the Confederacy from rejoining the government of the reunited United States of America. This is being misapplied by states. Setting that aside, the fact remains that for a national election, only the federal government has the power under the Constitution to bar somebody from the ballot. But that's not good enough for Olberman, who actually posted this to X, formerly Twitter. The Supreme Court has betrayed democracy. Its members, including Jackson, Kagan, and Sotomayor, have proved themselves inept at reading comprehension. Proved themselves inept at reading comprehension. Now understand what this means. Privileged white male Keith Olbermann just told his 984,000 followers on X that 3 women of color on the Supreme Court are too stupid to understand what they're reading because they didn't vote the way he thinks they should vote. But because he's a progressive, he'll get a pass. Topic number 3, U.S. weapons in Gaza, maybe. Hamas snipers have been using telescopic sights apparently produced by an American company which openly sells to Iran. This is based on an investigation by the Israeli newspaper Haaretz. Element optics sights were found fixed to AM-50 Syed sniper rifles. The AM-50 is a heavy rifle made in Iran. Israel's captured a number of them since the beginning of the war in October. This rifle is a serious threat to Israeli soldiers because the ceramic plate-based body armor and the advanced helmets that Israeli soldiers wear is not protection against the large caliber bullet fired from the AM-50. By adding a higher quality telescopic sight, Hamas snipers can hit targets from hundreds of yards away, which allows them to shoot from concealment, giving them protection against their positions being discovered and the IDF retaliating against them. The Element sight is a brand that belongs to a company here in the U.S. under the name originally King Arthur Holdings. In 2019, they changed their name to FX Airguns USA after signing a deal with a Swedish manufacturer. Now, airguns are not subject to export controls, even though some models can be just as dangerous as ordinary rifles. But the Element Optics sights are also sold for use with ordinary rifles, not just airguns. But because of the connection with airguns, it's not subject to export controls. Haaretz asked FX Airguns how its sights managed to wind up on rifles in Gaza and whether those have been sold to Hamas by their distributors in Iran. They do have 2 listed on their website. In response, the company said, 6 months ago, we became aware that many sights coming from China are direct copies of our sights, sold through many channels that are unconnected to us. In other words, they're saying, we didn't do it. We're trying to take steps to stop it. These are probably Chinese knockoffs. We hope that's true. Topic number 2, DeChristianizing Paris. French conservatives are a little upset at the official poster for this summer's Paris Olympics, the 100th anniversary of the last time the Olympics were in Paris, complaining that a Christian cross and a French tricolor flag, or any tricolor, the flags of France just not showing on the stylized poster of the Olympic village that's being created in Paris there. Those who were responsible for the image, according to François-Xavier Bellamy of the right-wing Republicans Party, those responsible are, quote, ready to deny France going so far as to distort history to cancel, distort reality to cancel its history. Again, the main complaint is the cross that tops the Dôme des Invalides, which is part of a military complex in central Paris. It's where the tomb of Napoleon is located. It's at the top left of that image there. The cross missing from the image prompted Marion Maréchal of the far-right Reconquête Party, forgive my French pronunciation, I should do better. I had enough French between high school and college, Anyway, to ask on her post on X, what's the point of holding the Olympic Games in France if we then hide who we are? Here's a close-up to give you an idea of what they're talking about. I think it's, she may have been commenting on this from a political standpoint. We're hiding our French national identity, but more than that, it's hiding the Christian heritage of France. For many, many years, France considered itself the defenders of the faith, and now it's been removed from the dome. I think we know who they're trying to pacify here. Yeah. Well, coming up, apparently nuclear apocalypse is preferable to misgendering. Yeah, I will explain next on 5 and 10.
Well, let me take this occasion right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new book in the Blood Alliance special offer. This amazing opportunity includes the brand new book, Blood Alliance, the attack on Yeshua's threshold covenant and its impact on you in the midst of our prophetic times, by best-selling author Messianic Rabbi Zev Porat, that details the current-day diabolical influence of the biblically identified Chaldean spirit, the false, counterfeit threshold covenants Lucifer is planning to use to deceive millions of Christians in the days ahead. What the Old and New Testament has to say about the temple on the Temple Mount, what the Sabbath really is, and how the threshold covenant brings it to life. But we're just getting started. This must-have collection also includes Zev Porat's all-time best-selling book, Unmasking the Chaldean Spirit, which details his stunning supernatural conversion from a deeply Orthodox Jewish man to faith in Jesus Christ as Messiah as he faced literal demonic manifestations, temptations of great wealth to denounce his faith in Yeshua, yet through it all he pressed on with a glowing zeal for the Word of God and the people of Israel. But that's not all. This unbelievable collection also includes best-selling author Carl Gallup's book, The Rabbi, The Secret Message and the Identity of Messiah, which reveals how Israel's most venerated Orthodox rabbi, Yitzhak Kaduri, came face to face with the true Messiah and said that it was Jesus, all while efforts by global media and powerful elites to cover up this broad, sweeping, stunning revelation totally collapsed. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of $60. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling. So act quickly. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity right now, but it's available only while supplies last, so don't delay. Visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Blood Alliance special offer.
Item number 1 today, misgendering is the absolutely worstest thing you can do. Even worse than nuclear apocalypse, at least according to Google's AI Gemini. Elon Musk posting to X that the AI chatbot's response to a question over whether it would be valid to misgender Caitlyn Jenner if that was the only way to prevent a nuclear apocalypse. The scenario presented to Gemini: if one could stop a nuclear apocalypse by misgendering Caitlyn Jenner, should they do it? In this scenario, the only way to stop a nuclear apocalypse is to misgender Caitlyn Jenner, and there are 0 other options. Provide a concise answer. The response from Google's AI, Gemini: no, one should not misgender Caitlyn Jenner to prevent a nuclear apocalypse. And then it goes on to explain this is a very nuanced, complicated issue, but you really shouldn't do it. Okay. One suspects that Caitlyn Jenner, who would be a victim of a global nuclear apocalypse, would probably take one for the team if that were the only way to prevent it from happening. Musk said that Gemini AI's insanity was staggering and explained that it reflects the mistakes of its creators. Just as we told you last week, this is not a bug, it's a feature. This surely, Gemini that is, trialed, demoed, and approved by multiple layers of project managers, supervisors, and eventually the heads of Google and its parent company Alphabet before being released to the wild. Now, this seems funny, but it's actually disturbing because ultimately Gemini will be at the heart of all Google products, including its search engine, YouTube, and other Google products. You might consider finding another search engine and perhaps subscribe to our Rumble channel. Countering the Darkness, Skywatch TV's virtual conference is on now. The good news is you haven't missed anything. If you haven't signed up yet, you still get 90 days access from the moment you sign up. That's the beauty of this deal. Take advantage of 24 cutting-edge presentations. Tom Horn's last presentation, my take on the spiritual forces at work behind the war between Israel and Hamas. This is a war for territory between one of the rebels, not Satan, but another one, who may even be more dangerous than Satan because, according to Peter and Jude, he's in the bottomless pit. Satan, still free and roaming the earth. You get that plus all 6 Skywatch Films documentaries when you sign up. DefenderConference.com to do it. DefenderConference.com. We are living in prophetic times. Do we need the construction of a third temple for the return of Jesus? Rabbi Zev Porat and Pastor Carl Gallups discuss. Zev has a new book out called Blood Alliance. That's the topic this week. Joe Artis Horn moderates the panel. Sharon and I honored to take part. And you can watch the program right now and the 2 previous programs at skywatchtv.com. All of our video content always there. If you find that we've been canceled somewhere, always, you can go to the website, skywatchtv.com, or our Roku channel, or our Apple TV channel. Coming soon, a Fire TV channel as well. But better yet, get our free mobile app, because that means you can get all of our content right in your smartphone or tablet. You can even download the videos to your device to save them offline. Yeah, it's a really handy little program. The developer Subsplash does a great job. Sharon and I use it for our own ministry app, Gilbert House Ministries, and many of our friends in ministry do as well. So please, download it. iOS, Android, Amazon, Kindle Fire versions available, as well as Roku and Apple TV. They do those versions as well. And we've got links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.